Hey, movie fans. So the first thing I want to talk about is I watched the new Peter Pan movie, Peter Pan and Wendy from Disney Plus. Let me say this: I was interested in this movie, but it wasn't one of my most excited movies because a lot of Disney Plus original movies are either terrible or okay. So let me start with the positives. Jude Law is a great Captain Hook. I thought the actress who played Wendy was great. The negatives with this movie is even though one of the things that made me interested was the visual style, because I do give him credit that visually it looks different than other Peter Pan movies. When you get to Neverland, it just looks really bland to me. This movie has like kind of like a bleak, dark look to it visually, and it just felt like it looked too grounded and realistic. And when you get to land, I just doesn't. I feel like with Peter Pan, you gotta have some fun and goofiness to it. And this movie's like too mature and serious, in my opinion. And also the actor who played Peter Pan, I thought it was awful in this movie. I don't know if this is his first movie, but he just wasn't very good. Like he was very one note in this. I just overall didn't like Peter Pan in this movie. He kind of came off unlikable. I don't feel like he's in this movie enough either. And when it comes to the Captain Hook's backstory, like I said, Jude Law is great in this movie, but I didn't really. It felt flat to me. Like I didn't hate the backstory or love it. It's just kind of like I didn't really care for it. The whole idea of him and Peter Pan being friends when they were kids. And finally, later on, Peter Pan was the one that told him to go away because he wanted to leave Neverland and go see his mother. I mean, I do give him credit for the fact they gave Captain Hook like a different backstory and changed it up with the visual style and the Captain Hook's backstory, but I just didn't care for the whole like backstory connecting him to Peter Pan. So overall, yeah, I wouldn't recommend Peter Pan and Wendy. This was another like big miss with a Disney Plus remake. So yeah, I can't recommend this movie. I didn't enjoy it personally. The next thing I want to talk about is The Exorcist Believer, where they announced that was the title for the new movie at CinemaCon last week. Let me say this, I love the original Exorcist movies, my favorite horror movies. I didn't like the sequels. I thought 2 and 3 sucked. And I'm excited the fact by this is a direct sequel to the original and they're annoying the 2 sequels. I'm excited for this movie, but I'm also worried. And here's why I'm a little worried, because the guy who's directing this is the guy, David Goyer Green, who directed the Halloween trilogy, 2018 Kills and Ends, and I enjoyed the 2018 Halloween movie. I enjoyed Kills. I hated Ends. Overall, I didn't think any of them were great. So it's like I'm kind of like 50-50 on him after the Halloween trilogy. Where I'm like, I didn't love any of his Halloween movies. Like I enjoyed 2 out of 3, but I didn't love any of them. So but I mean, I'm glad to hear that the footage they showed at CinemaCon said it was really creepy because I do think there was no SS is one of the best horror movies. So I'm 50-50 when it comes to him, like him being a choice to direct it. So but I'm excited for this. But I'm excited for the new SSS movie. The next thing I want to talk about is they released a Hunger Games trailer for the Hunger Games prequel that's come out this November last week during CinemaCon. Now I love the first Hunger Games movies. I know what any of the books. I know the prequel is based on a book. When it came to the final 200 movies, Mark and J. Paul went to, I thought they were fine. I was like disappointed in them when it came to like how they wrapped up that franchise. I didn't think they were bad endings. Just they were kind of like they were just kind of like okay. Like they could have been better. But like I said, I love those first 2 movies. And I'll admit, I wasn't that excited for the prequel because I was like, how you gonna do a Hunger Games movie without Jennifer Lawrence? I just think that's a weird idea. But then when I watched the trailer, I was like, you know what? This looks really good. It's got me excited because the idea of exploring like the earlier Hunger Games, how they started out, and the idea of exploring and the cast looks great. Like they got the guy from like Game of Thrones and the actress from the News is AM movie. But the idea of exploring like the character like Snow, this is that really makes me interested in the trailer. Is the idea of taking this character that was a great villain in the Hunger Games movies. I can't remember the name of the actor who played the older version of Snow, but one of the reasons I love that character in the Hunger Games is because he wasn't one of those villains that was sympathetic. He was just a great villain because he was just so evil, and he did a great job of playing a character you just hate. And I love the idea of taking that character, showing a younger version of him, and showing like, okay, what made him become this monster that you hate so much in the Hunger Games movies. And I think that could be a really compelling story. And Viola Davis looks great in this movie. She's like fantastic in anything. And I love that line at the end. You hear the actor who played the older version is so going like, "Love is what the thing that destroys you is love." And I just was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact line in the trailer. But it just looks really great. Like this movie actually hyped up and excited as someone who loves the first two movies. So I can't wait for this movie in November. Next thing I'll talk about is they announced Final Destination 6. Now let me say this, I love the first Final Destination movies, one of my favorite horror movies. I enjoyed Final Destination 2, 3, 5. I hated the fourth one. And I'm excited for this. Like I'm a big fan of this franchise. But I do hope with the new one they kind of change it up because one of the things with the sequels I felt like is that at times it just felt like they were redoing the same plot, and the original just felt so fresh and different in the horror movies that I felt like I said I enjoyed two, and I think two is probably the best sequel. I would have loved it, but they killed off Alice like off screen in that movie. That kind of like always got on my nose in that movie. And also the main character of the movie is kind of like one of those characters I just felt like was kind of like fine, but not like stood out or anything like that. But I just hope they kind of change it up and do something different. So this is one of those franchises where I feel like we need to kind of reanalyze it and do something that's like change up the plot or do something that makes it fresh and different from the other ones. Like I said, I love the first movie and I enjoyed two, three, and five. But I do want to see them. Like I hope when when they eventually put out a trailer for this, whenever it comes out, that it kind of shows that maybe they'll do something different with this franchise. But I'm excited for a Final Destination 6. That's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.